it's Angelica. Welcome to Beautiful Moments 100, and today we're going to talk about oils that you can use in your hair. Most of these oils are not made specifically for hair use. They're made for cooking with, or they're essential oils. But you can use them in your hair and get a lot of really great benefits because oils often mimic the natural sebum that is in your hair, and sebum is better for your hair than any conditioner you would ever purchase. So oils sort of mimic that effect. There are two types of oils. We'll call them essential oils and regular oils. Essential oils, it's very important that you do not apply straight to your skin or to your hair. They are very potent and they should be mixed with something. We mix them with a carrier oil, which are the regular oils that I just mentioned, or you can put them in your conditioner or your shampoo, blah blah blah, whatever. You just can't put them directly on your skin. And then the regular oils or the carrier oils are ones that you can use by yourself. They're, to me, the easiest to use, and you can use them more regularly. So those are the two types of oil. To get started, we'll talk about our regular oil. So there's coconut oil, olive oil, jojoba oil, avocado oil, almond oil, argan oil, also known as Moroccan oil. Those are the typical oils that people generally use in their hair. When using oils, you want to use extra virgin or cold pressed. Basically, you want to buy the more expensive oils, the ones that have not been processed at such high temperatures, because those high temperatures get rid of a lot of the nutrients in the oils. We'll start with extra virgin olive oil. And in my opinion, extra virgin olive oil is the easiest to start with because you most likely have it already. Now, if you don't have extra virgin olive oil, you can use virgin or pure olive oil. You just won't get as much of a benefit from it, but you can still use it. It's better than not using oil in your hair at all. So some of the benefits of extra virgin olive oil are that it does penetrate your hair shaft, and not all oils do. It provides nutrition to your hair. It has an anti-inflammatory agent that can aid in having a healthy scalp, and it can possibly prevent dandruff, obviously depending on the situation. And the molecular size is small and the shape is the right size so that it does, like I said, penetrate your hair shaft. But olive oil is one of the ones that does penetrate your hair shaft. It does not penetrate it as much as coconut oil, which I feel like is the most beneficial oil to use in your hair. One of the benefits of coconut oil is that it has a smaller molecular structure, so it penetrates your hair more deeply, and it also seems to have more nutrients. But they pretty much function in the same way. So the same way that you would use olive oil in your hair, you can use coconut oil in your hair, and it is good to alternate between them. So coconut oil, as you can see, comes as a solid. And then if you put it like in your hands, or if you heat it up as like a hot oil treatment, you'll see that it turns right into an oil. You don't want to store it in a super hot place because it will turn liquid, and you can use it obviously as a liquid, but it's meant to be stored in a cooler place. You don't have to put it in your refrigerator though. Other oils that function in much the same way are almond oil, argan oil, or Moroccan oil. I've had this sample since forever that you do not need a lot of oil. That's something to keep in mind. When you put oils in your hair, you just need a small amount. Jojoba oil and avocado oil. Now, one thing to keep in mind about avocado oil is that it does have a higher protein content, so you should just be careful not to overdo the protein. Protein is very important for your hair, but you don't want to overdo it. And castor oil, which I lost my bottle for, which, by the way, I put all of my oils in these little squeeze bottles so I don't contaminate my food oils with my hair oils, and it's just easier to apply. But castor oil does function in much the same way. However, in my opinion, it's better to be used only as a scalp treatment. It's so thick compared to the other oils that I feel like putting it all over your hair doesn't really do all that much good. But it does have nutrients in it, and it is good for your scalp and can aid in hair growth. So let's talk briefly about oils that do not penetrate the hair shaft, such as jojoba oil. Now, one might think, why would you use an oil that doesn't penetrate your hair shaft? Because it still locks in moisture. And it's so important, to me at least, to have a varied routine. You don't want to always use the same oils on your hair, even if they're better. To me, in my opinion, coconut oil and olive oil are the best oils to use on your hair. However, if you use them all of the time, your hair isn't going to get all the nutrients that it needs. So oils like jojoba oil are good oils for in-between uses. So jojoba oil, like I said, does not penetrate the hair shaft, but it does aid in a lot of things. Certain oils, such as jojoba oil, can help treat or prevent hair loss. Not genetic hair loss, however, but these oils can reduce buildup of sebum, and they can help with conditions such as psoriasis, eczema, and severe damage. So they are really good for your scalp. Jojoba oil has miseric acid, at least I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know, I'm not an oilologist, I have no idea. But it's an anti-inflammatory, which also aids in scalp health. So that's just an example of one of the oils that doesn't penetrate your hair but is still incredibly useful in your hair regimen. A lot of these oils are really good for your scalp, but I would not leave them on your hair for an extended period of time because you don't want to end up clogging your scalp and preventing new hair from growing. So the only time I really put oil on my scalp is if I'm going to be washing it the next day. Possibly 2 days if for some reason I'm lazy and I just don't feel like washing my hair. But just keep that in mind. A lot of people do put it on their scalp and they will leave it for days, maybe even weeks. I personally feel like that, like I said, it slows down hair growth. When I stopped oiling or greasing my scalp, as people used to do all the time and how we were brought up, my hair started to grow a lot better. Now let's talk about essential oils. Essential oils, like I said, should be mixed with something, so with a carrier oil. The essential oils, in my opinion, are used mostly for promoting hair growth and having a healthy scalp. They tend to tingle a little bit when you put them on. A lot of them are antibacterial, and some of them also help balance the pH of your hair. So here's my example. I have peppermint oil. It's essential oil. And peppermint oil is really good because it, like I said, it balances the pH of your hair. So if you have really oily hair, it'll help balance it and keep your scalp from producing so much oil. If your hair is really dry, it will balance it and encourage it to produce more oil. Peppermint oil is one of my favorites because it smells good. Also really popular right now is tea tree oil, which I didn't buy any of it because it is expensive right now. So I just use products that have tea tree oil in it. So you can sort of just read about them and pick out which ones you think are best for you. They are quite expensive, but you only need a few drops, and that's one really important thing to keep in mind. For every about cup of whatever you're diluting it with, oil or conditioner, you only want about like 4 drops of essential oil. So when I do my treatments, I only put in like 3 drops because I usually don't need to make an entire cup. Ways to use oils if you're just getting started or you want to do something really simple: mix them with your conditioner, with your shampoo. You can apply them while you're moisturizing and sealing, which I already did a video on, and I'll link that right here. Those are sort of ways to get started. I will show you my favorite homemade conditioning treatments using oils. I'll make a whole bunch of videos for you guys so you can do some more extreme deep conditioning and moisturizing. So one thing that I feel is really important, and that's a mistake that I see a lot of people making, is they use oil with direct heat. Some oils claim to be a heat protectant. I don't know if that's true. To me, that sounds a heck of a lot like BS, and here's why. Think about when you're frying chicken or frying an egg. You're applying direct heat to oil. Think about how oily and bubbly and blistery that oil gets, and imagine that on your hair. Imagine how much damage that would cause. Imagine, or think about it like this, like you're going tanning. If you go tanning, you put that oil all over, and yeah, it makes your skin look better, but it's damaging your skin. So that's just something to keep in mind. I will never believe that oil can be used while using heat, direct heat that is, because basically it's going to mess up your hair. It's going to dry it out. Your hair is going to get hotter than it should get, and it's just going to F it up basically. So the correct way to use oil and heat is to use indirect heat. So if you are doing a conditioner or a moisturizer, you can put it in your hair and then put on a shower cap, and then put also maybe a warm towel on, and that is indirect heat that you can use. Other options are to go under a hooded dryer with the shower cap on, or to get one of those caps that you put in the microwave and it heats up for you. I would never use oil with a curling iron or a hair straightener. Some people who don't have hooded dryers will use a hand dryer, but to me that's still much too abrasive. Hooded dryers diffuse the air, and they're not so harsh and so direct, especially if you're not using it on the highest setting. So that's really something important to keep in mind. A lot of people will put oil on their hair and then straighten it, but basically you are frying your hair. It's just that simple. Do what you want. I'm not telling you what to do, but I feel like if you really want to have long, healthy hair, do not use oil in it. And I mean, even if your heat spray has a little bit of oil in it, don't use it. Find a heat protectant spray that doesn't have oil in it. That's how strongly I feel about it, and something for you to think about as well. Now that I got that rant over and I'm all hot and bothered, please let me know what hair oils you use and your favorite ways to use them. So thank you so much for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. I will see you in my next video.